Lastly, we can use a combination of methods. We can do the football field, bracketing, and map at the same time and get our best assessed range to the target in lieu of a rangefinder. Or maybe we used a rangefinder, we wrote down a bunch of ranges to a bunch of known points, but a target pops up, very limited time that it's going to be in your objective area, and you don't have time to range it again. So you just got to kind of maybe bracket or go with something else along with it, okay? But there's multiple ways to get range. At the end of the day, you want the right range. Now, when we're talking about the mill relation formula, this is where we start using some numbers. And if you don't have a notepad, I highly recommend you write this down and keep it in your shooting book. But we're going to take the size of target in inches times 27.778 divided by size of target in mils that you see in your optic, and that's going to give you the range to the target in yards. And if you want the range in meters, same formula, only we're going to convert this 27.778 to 25.4, and that will give us the range in meters. These numbers are different based off of range in yards to meters conversion, just English to metric. Now, I would typically ask folks how big a standard target is in inches, an American target. So shoulder to shoulder, I want you to just think for a second, how big do I look shoulder to shoulder? All right, you probably have a number in your head. Now, if your number started with inches, this is why we have all these numbers in here, right? Mil is typically a metric-based system. So if we knew the size of the target in meters, we can just divide it by mils. But because we're American and we see things in inches, you probably seen me as, I've been said everything from 36 and people making me feel good down to, like 25. But typically the average human being in America is typically 19.5 inches from shoulder to shoulder and 40 inches from the belt to the top of the head. But again, because we see things in inches, we have to do some math and conversions to get this to work out. So again, size of target in inches times 27.778 divided by size of target in mils equals the range in yards, and 25.4 is going to give us the range in meters. We talked about 1 mil is equivalent to 3.438 minutes of angle. So if we understand that math, we can apply that here. And if we have a MOA reticle, we can do the same math, different numbers, 95.5 for yards, 87.3 for meters, and we can do the same exact math and get the same exact answers, okay? So let's try this. We have a reticle, and I want you to think about it as a tape measure. And I'm gonna step off to the side for a minute, and I want you to look at this, and I want you to determine how tall is this target from the top of the head to the bottom. All right, I'm back. And if you had a hard time determining what the distance was or what the mils were, there's probably a few things that I can help you out with. One, every reticle is a little bit different, mil or MOA, but this is a mil reticle, and as long as we know it's a mil reticle, we can figure it out. We find this number right here, and it says 1, and that's probably should cue our eyes that that's 1 mil. Down here, that's 2, so we know that that's 2 mils. There's one thing in between it, so what do we think that is? That's half mil increment. It's smaller, so we know that that's half a mil, 1 mil, 1.5 mil, 2 mils on down the list.